Imagine you are sitting on a train. Below is a deep abyss, ahead are deadly curves, and all around are souls who have not returned. Are you brave enough to experience that feeling? Comment below, and remember to subscribe to discover more scary journeys. And that is where our journey begins, where bridges and railways span the sky, challenging both harsh nature and human limits. Trains in India will soon cross the world's highest single-arch railway bridge, a 1.3 kilometers long bridge over the Chenab River. To get an idea of the height, just look down into the deep riverbed. This train promises to take you through mountains and across oceans. But not all roads are built for comfort. Many were built from blood, fire, and despair. From tracks that cut through bustling marketplaces to tunnels that haunt the dead, all hide terrifying secrets beneath their beautiful facades. I take the train every day, and the difference is remarkable. It's a wonderful ride, the people are friendly, the scenery is incredible. But when you know what's underneath, you'll be amazed that they still allow trains like this to exist. Do you dare to stand on this bridge and look down into the deep river below? If yes, comment 0. If no, comment 1. But not all railways are built for comfort. On the contrary, many exist to meet the need survival. Built with blood, fire, and despair, hidden beneath its majestic beauty are unimaginable costs. In Bangladesh, trains are the lifeblood. During holidays, when demand spikes, thousands of people crowd onto train roofs, clinging to windows or gaps between carriages. No safety rails, no tickets, just surviving to make it to the trip. Electric shocks, falls, and being trapped happen every year, but they keep going for a living. And why do they do it? Because missing a train could mean missing their grandmother's funeral, their daughter's wedding, or their paycheck. Not only that, Bangladesh, more than 3,000 kilometers of railway run on deteriorating infrastructure, where every year dozens of people are electrocuted or thrown from packed carriages. On holidays like Adolf, demand soars. Yet they still travel, still cling. Do you think you have the guts to climb on top of a crowded train? Like and share your thoughts. In contrast to that chaos, the Maeklong Railway Market in Thailand is a dance of life and death. Every few hours the train whistle blew, the awnings and tables and chairs were pulled back, and seconds later the train passed within inches of the stall. Then life resumed. For locals, it's tradition and survival. For tourists, it's a surreal spectacle. No flashy stations, no barriers, Just simple coordination and trust. Most everywhere, trains need space. In Myeong, people and railways breathe the same air. It may sound strange, but it is not the most extreme thing you will see on this trip. Would you dare sit and eat right next to the train tracks, when in just a few seconds a train will come? Now, let's go heading north. Where the ground isn't burning but freezing, we meet giant snowplows in Canada, Russia, and Northern Europe. The threat is not the crowd or the cliff. It is the silence, the snow, the cold that can bend steel. In these areas, trains are a lifeline stretching across the snow-capped wilderness. When the blizzard hits, the tracks disappear under snowfields higher than buildings. The whole town was covered in snow, but the trains kept running. The steel whales with snow shovels fastened to their bows rushed forward like tanks in the ice. Snow fell 5 meters deep, swallowing signs, crushing platforms, and abandoned cars. Tourists called it beauty. Ticket inspectors called it survival. Inside the cabin, visibility is near zero, brakes are slipping, every second is a life or death decision. Make the wrong choice, and you're not just stuck. You're stuck miles away from rescue, buried under ice. In Siberia, there are towns connected only to the rest of the world by these trains. Missing one means being cut off until spring. The train doesn't take you home, the locals joke. It just gives you a head start. Yet, this is the lifeline connecting towns submerged in snow. If you sit in a cabin with almost zero visibility, do you dare believe that the train will take you to safety? And that's just a story, because we go further. The train moves through the clouds. Now we climbed high above sea level, past the clouds, into the air where there should be no trains. But they still exist, and they run on tracks that look like ropes stretched across the mountains. This is the trip Argentina's train to the clouds, Trenelas Nubes, an extremely dangerous route, reaching the sky at an altitude of more than 4,200 meters. This altitude is higher than the altitude of some commercial flights. But don't let the views fool you. This is not a trip for the faint of heart. Construction began in 1921. It took 27 years, not because of laziness, but because of danger. The terrain was too wild for traditional methods, so engineers had to rewrite the rules. Spirals, sharp turns, sky bridges clinging to rock like spiders to glass. 29 bridges, 21 tunnels, 2 complete spirals. There was a rumor, whispered among locals that in the 1,960 seconds, an entire train had to be evacuated when too many passengers collapsed from altitude sickness. Official report: quiet, mountains noisy. In 2005, floods destroyed part of the track. The train was out of service for nearly 6 years. It took extensive renovations, reinforcements, and stronger safety systems to get it back up and running. And even now, rockslides and storms threaten the line. Still, it functions as a test of human limits. If you had to take only one thing with you on this train, courage, oxygen, or camera, what would you choose? Comment and share your views. Now, let's move to another train. Devil's Nose, and often referred to by locals as Neris del Diablo, is a craggy peak in the Ecuadorian Andes where the air is thinner and history runs deeper. More than 2,000 lives were lost building just 12 kilometers of this cursed railway. Now it's billed as a beautiful, winding ride, but what visitors don't see are the bones beneath the tracks. Back in 1899, Ecuador dreamed of connecting the port of Guayaquil with the capital Quito, but the Andes were not easy to conquer, especially the Devil's Point with its 800-meter high cliffs. To conquer it, engineers came up with a zigzag rail system, forcing the train to go back and forth on the mountainside as if defying gravity. However, this project was almost impossible, because the difficulty came not only from the calculations, but also from the mountain itself and the deadly jungle that surrounded it. The workers were mostly poor, slaves or tricked migrant workers from Jamaica and China, who faced wild animals like jaguars and venomous snakes, and deadly diseases like malaria and dysentery. Today, visitors still marvel at the spectacular landscape, but hidden beneath each steel rail is a silent cemetery, where beauty and blood blend together. And that's just one example. Now, let's dive in and explore an equally creepy road, the Chennai-Ramaswaram Railway Bridge in India. At first glance, it looks like a flat stretch of land across the water, but it is actually one of Asia's most dangerous railway lines. Standing out at over 2 kilometers long, connecting Chennai to Ramaswaram Island, it has to withstand cyclones, tides, and gale-force winds. As a result, when winds are above 58 kilometers per hour, all trains are forced to stop. Memories of the tragic year 1964 still haunt us, when Typhoon Pamban reached 240 kilometers per hour and swept away bridges and trains, claiming more than 200 lives. Fishermen still tell of the lights and the rumbling sound of ghost ships on the sea, but the bridge still exists out of duty, taking pilgrims to the sacred land, maintained daily by engineers. Now we enter a different battlefield, no longer a battle against nature, but a struggle between ambition and physics. Suspension Bridge Chhajiarani is proof that not only can it span great distances, but it can also defy gravity. Suspended over a 350-meter deep gorge, the bridge is more than 2 kilometers long, taller than the Eiffel Tower, and was built faster than many home renovations. The valley was too weak for helicopters, forcing engineers to use drones to pull the first cables. The winds were so fierce that one misstep could send the cable and equipment tumbling down. More than 30 high-resolution surveillance cameras were installed to monitor the tension and movement of the steel. In the end, the project was completed in just 2.5 years, millions of dollars over budget and causing global shock. But wait, it gets even bolder. Next is Longjiang Suspension Bridge in Yunnan. The monster holds the record for the world's longest single-span suspension bridge with just one main pylon. The tower is 233 meters high, supported by 154 cables that stretch across the valley like an iron spider web. Even during the pandemic, work did not stop. Digging robots, tunnel boring machines, and capacity monitoring systems turned a multi-year project into a 4-month sprint. The anchor had to be drilled more than 100 meters into the rock, and even one loose bolt could have caused disaster. But the payoff is game-changing. The bridge becomes the lifeline of a 9,000-kilometer highway linking Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand. A journey that once took 90 minutes now takes just 2 minutes. Trade boomed, tourism grew, and villages once isolated by fog were now able to sell their goods to the world. Now they come forward Binh Bridge, a structure with a story carved into concrete. The central tower is 332 meters high, holding the record for the tallest concrete bridge tower in the world. But its significance goes beyond height. It is heritage. The design is inspired by the Hmong costume motifs, combining tradition with cables and steel. Costing more than $211 million, the bridge is not only beautiful, but also resistant to heat, corrosion, and earthquakes. Its mission is to connect Pingtang, the only path leading to the planet's largest telescope, FAST, for space exploration. Now look up. Between the clouds and sky, the Dihang Gorge stretches across Ahai Bridge, a glass walkway connecting the mountain peaks. Walking through here is like floating, with a 336-meter-high vertical cliff below. The bridge is suspended by 85 centimeters thick cables, each weighing up to 8 tons, spanning mountains where even birds are afraid to fly over. For local residents, the bridge shortened the journey from 4 hours to less than an hour. For farmers, it brought tourism, money, and new livelihood opportunities. But the question is, if there was a bridge that not only crossed the cliff, but also slid down to the ocean floor, it would be a unique wonder. Now leave the sky and dive into the ocean, where China is building the 55 kilometers Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge across the Pearl River Delta. Not only the world's longest sea-crossing bridge, but also a bold statement. Restricted airspace and shipping routes forced engineers to choose a 6.7 kilometers long, 50 meters deep underground tunnel solution that could withstand storms, earthquakes, and high tides. Instead of buying international designs, they invented their own flooded tunnel technology, and more than 500 patents were issued. The 80,000-ton tunnel was laid by hand, with 2 artificial islands at either end, each built from 120 steel pillars like spearheads. After 9 years, the project was completed in 2018, shortening the 4-hour ferry journey to a 45-minute drive. But maintenance costs of more than $30 million a year still have to be paid to keep the trade and technology lifeline. Behind this wonder lies mystery, traces of death and hidden railways that have never been told. And some routes were so remote that only when the steel was laid did people realize they didn't belong there. In the frozen north, where gold rush meets ice, the White Pass in the Yukon cuts like a scar carved into the mountains from Alaska to Canada. Born during the Klondike Rush of the 1,890 seconds, it is famous not for gold, but for deaths. The narrow gauge line climbed more than 910 meters in just 20 meters, with no tunnels, just sharp turns, wooden bridges, and cold abysses. Thousands of desperate workers, without coats or even shoes, froze to death on the spot. Sudden avalanches, failed blasts, and falling rocks wiped out many people. To this day, it is said that if you take a train in winter and look closely, you will see frozen old boots, pickaxes sticking out of the ice, ghostly objects left from hands that never returned. Now come to New Zealand, peaceful and picturesque. But the Gisborne-Napier Railway carries an unusual danger. It runs right over an airport runway. At Gisborne Airport, trains and planes share the same ground. No bridges, no tunnels, just straight tracks on asphalt. When trains run, planes are forced to stop. When planes land, trains must give way. It all depends on timing and radio signals. Sounds crazy, but it works. Just a small error, a delay or a missed call from air traffic control can cause disaster in seconds. Then head to Norway, where fjords hug the coastline. Flam Railway. Although only 20 kilometers long, it drops 867 meters from Myrtle Station to the sea, making it one of the steepest standard gauge lines in the world, with an angle of 1 inch 18, almost vertical in railway terms. Notably, it has no gear system, relying solely on brakes, of which there are 5 different types, including magnetic brakes mounted directly on the rails. But in the beginning, even these were not enough, and several times the train plunged straight down the mountainside, crashing into Flam Station at full speed. Engineers call it the elevator from the sky, and locals refer to it as Shuldra, the forest god who is said to have lured engineers off the tracks. To this day, people still place flowers at the tunnel entrance as a way to appease the god's gaze. Now head south to Sri Lanka, where the railway line from Kandy to Ella hailed as the most beautiful train ride in the world. Tea plantations, misty forests, and bridges hidden in the clouds create a magical scene, but behind the beauty lies horror. The line was built during colonial times, relying on cheap or unpaid labor, and every monsoon season faces sudden landslides, the tracks sinking into mud. It was on this line in 2004 that tragedy struck when a tsunami swept in from the Indian Ocean, engulfing a coastal train. Queen of the Sea claiming more than 1,700 lives. No warning, no signal, just steel being swallowed. The entire train car became a grave. Survivors said they saw locals waving to stop, but the train could not stop, and when water flooded in, it was too late. And finally, Pakistan, where the Line-Bolan Pass railway through the harsh terrain of Baluchistan since British colonial times, cutting through arid mountains and rocky valleys where flash floods and vandalism pose a danger to human life. Armed guards often accompany trains, not for show but for survival. In 2006, a bomb exploded on the tracks, killing dozens and injuring many. But the trains kept running because for remote villages, it was not a luxury, but the only way to see a doctor, a teacher, or get food. Temperatures above 50 degrees Celsius, strong, dusty winds cause paint to peel off, and rail tracks are eroded or landslides force them to be rebuilt every year. Near the Kyak Tunnel, legend has it that Afghan workers who died in a tunnel collapse in the late 19th century guard the pass, and some engineers even claim to have heard knocking on the walls when no one is around. So what do all these forgotten routes have in common? They were not built for beauty or fame, but for survival. If that makes you pause, or makes you look at these routes in a completely different way, leave a comment below. Leaving that dangerous, arid, mountainous region, we come to Norway, where Atlantic Ocean road squeezed between the raging sea, bringing a completely different kind of adventure. The journey of driving on the precarious bridges in the middle of the storm. There are roads that are not only simple to pass, but also like entrances to mysterious abysses. Breathtaking curves, harsh weather, and collapsing terrain make every meter a test of life and death. Today, let's explore the top scariest highways in the world. In contrast to the familiar daily roads, Babur D915 in Turkey opens up like a nightmare in the middle of wild mountains and forests. This 100 kilometers plus road is carved into the rugged Pontic Mountains, featuring 29 hairpin bends at the Soganla Pass, where one slip could send you plummeting into a deep abyss. The road surface is rough, mostly gravel, and so narrow that at times only one car can pass. In winter, the snow covers everything, making every step a gamble, and in summer, thick dust obscures visibility. Locals call it the road that tests courage, while tourists come to experience the feeling of walking between life and death. Babur D915 is not only a route, but also an unforgettable obsession for anyone who has ever set foot on the road and wanted to challenge their own courage. Meanwhile, Taroko Gorge Highway in Taiwan brings a whole other challenge, both fascinating and terrifying. This 90 kilometers plus road cuts through the marble Taroko Gorge, skirting sheer cliffs and spanning deep ravines where the Liwu River foams below. Narrow roads, sharp turns, and obstructed vision make drivers feel suffocated, especially when some sections have no protective barriers at all. During the rainy season, the risk of falling rocks and landslides makes the trip seem like a gamble with death. Yet amidst the danger unfolds breathtaking vistas, waterfalls pouring from above, ancient temples hidden in the clouds, and majestic mountains stretching endlessly. Taroko Gorge is therefore both a natural wonder and a nightmare for any driver who dares to challenge it. Are you brave enough to conquer these, the world's scariest highway? Leave a comment sharing your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to explore the next creepy journey. Next on the list is three-level zigzag road in India, also known as Zuluk Loop, located in the state of Sikkim in the eastern Himalayas, about 30 kilometers long with more than 100 narrow sleeve bends. Due to the steep terrain, the route is forced to carve into the mountains, winding through dense forests, grasslands, and remote villages before reaching Tomi Viewpoint at altitude 400 meters. Originally part of the ancient Silk Road connecting Tibet with India, it is now a popular tourist destination for views of the majestic Himalayas, including Kanchenjunga, the world's third highest mountain. In winter, the snow covers the landscape, making it even more spectacular but also increasing the danger. Not everyone is allowed to drive on this road. Visitors need a special license, a four-wheel drive vehicle, and years of driving experience, as even a small mistake can lead to dangerous mountain ditches. Next up is the Cotaji Canyon in Peru, a road that is both majestic and breathtakingly dangerous. Situated along the steep cliffs of the Andes, this road winds between deep canyons where just one wrong turn can send a car plunging hundreds of meters below. The road is narrow. Many sections are only wide enough for one car to pass, forcing drivers to yield and sometimes back up long distances to avoid each other. During the rainy season, rushing water from the mountains turns the road surface into slippery mud, while thick fog obscures visibility. Yet, amid the tension unfolds a beautiful natural picture. Cloud-capped mountain peaks, green valleys, and a winding river in the distance. Cotaji is not just a road, but a journey that tests the will and courage of anyone. Not stopping there, the James Dalton Highway in Alaska, USA, is one of the most extreme icy challenges in the world. This 400-mile route stretches from Fairbanks to the Arctic Circle, crossing wind-swept hills, glaciers, and frozen tundra. The road surface is mainly gravel and rough asphalt, covered with ice and snow in winter and muddy in summer, turning every journey into a struggle with nature. The road has virtually no rest stops or rescue services, while winter temperatures can drop below -30 degrees Celsius and strong winds can cause heavy trucks to sway. People call Dalton the Lonely Road because of its desolation, where if your car breaks down on the road, you only have experience and the will to survive. Yet it is this very harshness that creates the majestic Arctic landscape that makes Dalton both terrifying and fascinating. Crossing the icy north, the journey takes us to the Sichuan-Tibet Highway in China, a route of more than 2,000 kilometers long, dubbed the Heaven and Hell Route. The road passes through towering mountain ranges, with many sections at altitudes above 4,000 meters, where the air is so thin that drivers and passengers can easily fall into a state of hypoxia. The terrain is rugged with continuous hairpin turns, narrow roads. One side is a steep cliff, the other side is a deep abyss. During the rainy season, landslides and flash floods occur frequently, and in winter, thick snow and ice turn every meter of road into a death trap. However, this road also takes people through rare, majestic landscapes. Primeval forests, endless green grasslands, ancient Tibetan villages, and the majestic Himalayas. This is a journey both terrifying and sacred, only for the bravest of hearts. Leaving the majestic Himalayas, the journey takes us to South America with Cotopaxi Volcano Road in Ecuador, a place that contains both majestic and threatening beauty. This route follows the slopes. Cotopaxi, the active volcano, is as high as 897 meters, considered one of the highest volcanoes in the world. The road is narrow, winding and bumpy. Many sections are just wide enough for a small car to pass. One side is a steep cliff, the other side is a deep abyss. During heavy rains, rocks and soil from the mountainside can slide down suddenly, turning the entire road into a slippery mud trap. What makes the place even more terrifying is the constant feeling of unease. Just one eruption, and the entire area would be covered in lava and ash. But beyond the danger, the reward is breathtaking scenery, blue highland skies, vast fields, and the breathtaking snow-capped peak of Cotopaxi. And if you think that was the final challenge, get ready, because next we will arrive at location number 10, the Devil's Nose Railway in Ecuador, where the steep Z-shaped turns will leave any passenger breathless. Footage shows a steam train crossing Devil's Nose Mountain, Ecuador, in October 2007, on a dangerous track close to a cliff. Along the railway, on all sides were high mountains and giant rocks. The rising smoke made the scene even more terrifying. The Ferrocarril Andino Railway in Peru crosses the rugged Andes, with high bridges and dangerous tunnels. The path inside was so narrow and dark that it made anyone feel suffocated and full of danger. Just one wrong step in that narrow path could have disastrous consequences. I once witnessed the Maeklong Railway Market in Thailand, where the train crashed into the stalls, which made me shudder, because just a small mistake could cause a tragedy. As the train approached, people had to rush to press against the wall, creating a tense and suffocating scene. In the distance was the treacherous Myanmar Railway overpass, and I wondered what terrifying dangers he would face ahead. Look, this railway line hangs high above. Below is deep green forest and rushing river, creating a scene both majestic and scary. The Tren a las Nubes train in Argentina is 4,200 meters high and 217 kilometers long to the Polvorilla Viaduct, offering a breathtaking experience amidst the Andes. Purwakarta, Padalarang Railway. Old video footage captures the dangerous journey on this precarious route. Weaving between high mountains and deep ravines, the narrow tracks make this journey extremely tense and dangerous. Connecting Northern Europe with Southern Europe, crossing the UNESCO World Heritage Rhaetian Railway, skirting majestic glaciers, and descending into lush palm groves. In winter, the Rhaetian Railway is covered with ice and snow. The train weaves between majestic and dangerous mountains. The railway crossing the Pamban Bridge is more than 2 kilometers long, connecting mainland India with Rameswaram Island. Perched precariously on the sea surface, just looking at it is enough to make you shiver. The clear blue water stretches endlessly, while the railway is alone in the middle of the sea, creating a suffocatingly creepy feeling. In Bangladesh, trains are packed with people clinging to the roofs and sides, a sight that leaves anyone who witnesses it breathless with fear. Dangerous. Bangladesh train on Eid. Drutojan Express is seriously overloaded, people clinging inside and outside the carriage. From the dangerous Aso Minami route on the Japanese volcano, we turn to another scene in Vietnam, Hang Mua, Ninh Binh, where steep stone steps take you to the top of the mountain with majestic and overwhelming views. But adventure doesn't stop on mountain roads. Even on trains, you can face heart-stopping feelings. The Aso Minami Line in Japan, a train that runs so close to an active volcano, just a tremor is enough to turn the journey into a disaster. Endless bridges span the emerald green sea, with waves lapping on either side, sparkling under the tropical sunshine. It feels like you are driving in the middle of the ocean, the sea breeze blowing your hair, the salty smells spreading throughout the space. Sometimes, that fragile path makes people feel small in the midst of majestic nature, but that very moment also brings incomparable freedom. This is not just a journey of transportation, but an emotional experience, like walking on a silver silk strip connecting the sky and the sea. From peaceful US Route 1, the journey continues to Lowari Pass, a rugged and cold place that challenges every step. The winding, steep pass, with deep abysses and sharp rocks on both sides, always makes the driver tense, as if walking on the line between life and death. In winter, snow covers the ground. Avalanches and blizzards can strike suddenly, making the path slippery and obscure. It is this very harshness that makes Lowari Pass a dangerous yet fascinating journey, where the majestic beauty of the Hindu Kush blends with danger lurking at every turn. Leaving Lowari Pass, we come to California State Route 1, Pacific Coast Highway, where the blue sea and cliffs create overwhelming beauty. The road winds along the Pacific coast, where white-capped waves crash against steep cliffs, creating a majestic and romantic scene. On that journey, you can feel the salty sea breeze in every breath. the sun casting its golden rays on the vast water, and the green cliffs stretching out to the horizon. Each bend opens up a new scene. Sometimes the vast blue sea, sometimes the deep pine forest. Deep makes people feel both overwhelmed and peaceful. Do you dare to conquer the most dangerous coastal road in America? Comment below. From the blue sea beauty of California State Route 1, we advance to the majestic heights of Khardung La Ladakh. Snow covers the place all year round, and the thin air makes every step heavy. But it is this harshness that adds to the mysterious appeal of this place. The sharp bends hug the steep cliffs. One side is a deep abyss, the other side is white clouds surrounding the mountaintop, creating the feeling of being lost in a surreal world. For adventurous drivers, Khardung La is not only a challenge of courage and skills, but also the final leg that takes them to the most pristine and majestic beauty of Ladakh. Tian Shan Mountain Road winds through the snow-capped mountains of Xinjiang. Sharp turns, steep cliffs, and deep ravines make every trip a gamble with fate. The fog that descended obscured visibility, coupled with the cold winds blowing from the mountain passes, made every turn a life or death challenge. However, it is the majestic beauty of the pine forests, grasslands, and deep blue sky that makes this place a dream to conquer for adventurers. From the majestic Tian Shan Mountains, the journey continues into Pakistan with the Naran Babusar Pass, where lush green beauty hides behind treacherous curves. The Naran Babusar Pass passes through the lush green valleys and towering mountains of Pakistan. The road is narrow, winding with many sharp turns. One side is a steep cliff, the other side is a deep abyss, making even the slightest distraction make the traveler pay dearly. In winter, thick snow turns the road surface into a slippery mirror, and in the rainy season, sudden landslides can block the entire journey. However, it is the majestic scenery with the vast green grasslands and deep blue sky on the top of the pass that has turned this place into a dream for adventurers. Leaving the icy bends of Naran Babusar Pass, the journey continues to take us to Quang Binh, where the western branch of the Ho Chi Minh Trail is hidden among the majestic Truong Son mountain range with countless lurking dangers. The Ho Chi Minh Trail West Branch runs through the majestic Truong Son mountains and forests, the most rugged terrain in central Vietnam. The narrow, winding road follows the limestone mountainside, with a steep cliff on one side and a deep abyss on the other, making every turn a challenge for the driver. Amidst the danger, the road is captivating with the old Truong Son forest, the fog covering the path and the unforgettable wild beauty. Leaving the majestic Truong Son, we come to Nepal with the Annapurna Circuit Pass, the most dangerous route in the Himalayas. This road winds through mountains over 5,000 meters high, where the thin air makes every breath heavy. The terrain is rugged with countless sharp turns and narrow trails along steep cliffs. One slip, and you could fall into a deep abyss. In winter, heavy snowfall and blizzards strike unexpectedly, while in summer, landslides and heavy rains strike. However, amidst the harshness, the white snow mountains, green valleys and clear sky turn this place into a dream of conquest for the brave. From Himalayas, the journey continues with Kali Hills Road, 99 dangerous bends in India. Kali Hills Road, also known as the 99 Turn Road, located in the middle of Tamil Nadu state, India, is one of the roads that makes anyone shudder when mentioned. Only about 46 kilometers long but has 99 consecutive sharp turns, each turn is like a test of the driver's steel nerves. On one side is a steep cliff. On the other side is a deep abyss. Just a moment of carelessness and an accident can happen. Khan, the legendary road famous for its 11 sharp turns winding like silk strips along the steep mountainside. Look! The car is going down. Trollstigen with sharp turns, deep ravines and roaring waterfalls nearby. Trollstigen like a vivid picture, sharp bends hugging the mountain, majestic waterfalls make travelers both scared and fascinated. There are roads in the world that are not only for traveling but also a challenge of life and death. From the deep Bolivia, the icy Alaska to the snowy Himalayas, each place instills fear. Let's explore the top most dangerous routes on the planet. In the majestic Andes Plateau of Bolivia, there is a road that makes anyone shudder when they hear its name. North Yungas, the Road of Death. Only 3 meters wide, one side is a cliff, the other side is 100 meters deep abyss. It is like a thread hanging between life and death. Howling winds, thick fog, and narrow bends continuously swallowed up countless lives. It is this obsession that makes North Yungas the most terrifying symbol of the world's most dangerous roads. If you want to explore more details, comment number 1. Above North Yungas, the Road of Death in Bolivia, 2 cars suddenly got stuck in the middle of a narrow curve. One side was a cliff. The other side was a deep abyss. The wheels were only a few centimeters from the edge of the cliff. The atmosphere was tense and suffocating. The driver was sweating. His hands were shaking as he gripped the steering wheel, while the passengers were holding their breath, their hearts pounding. Just one small mistake, and the whole car could disappear into the endless void. Today, the Bolivian government has built a safer alternative route, but North Yungas remains as a reminder of the fragility of human life in the face of harsh nature. It has even become a destination for adventurous tourists who want to try the feeling of tightrope walking by bicycle or motorbike on this road of death.
Oh my God, it's going down. Move, move!
Get back! It's going down! Help!
Racer John Norton expertly drives his Kenworth W900 liters down the roller coaster on the Dalton Highway in February 2012. The temperature was negative 22 degrees Celsius. This is also the second dangerous road we want to mention. It is located in the icy land of Alaska, America, where the biting cold, blinding snow and wind and endless loneliness make people shiver more than the deep Andes. If North Yungas Road is haunted by its deep ravines and deadly curves, then James Dalton Highway in Alaska again sows fear because of the wilderness, cold and suffocating loneliness. This road is longer 666 kilometers, connecting Fairbanks to Deadhorse near the Arctic Ocean. Built to accommodate oil and gas operations, the Dalton Highway is hardly a road for casual travel. Along the hundreds of kilometers long route, you will only find 3 gas stations few, a few rest stops, and almost no hospitals or repair shops. In the middle of a cold land where winters drop to 40 degrees Celsius, a black bear shivers as it crosses the highway as a giant truck approaches. The road surface is mostly gravel and slippery, plus the winds are strong enough to overturn trucks. The long, icy slopes made it easy for the car to lose control and slide dozens of meters. After crossing the icy Alaska, the journey leads us to another masterpiece of danger, Guoliang Tunnel Road in China, a hand-carved mountain road where every turn is a test of nerves of steel. After passing through the deadly cold of Alaska's Dalton Highway, the journey takes us to the Taihang Mountains in China, a haunted mountain road built in the 1972 by the villagers of Guoliang. This more than 1 kilometer-long path was carved by hand through the vertical cliff using only a hammer and a rudimentary chisel. Narrow, dark, and precariously perched on a deep cliff, it is both a testament to the extraordinary willpower of man and a test of the steely nerves of anyone who dares to cross it. Guoliang Village Cliff Corridor, carved entirely by hand by villagers over the course of 5 years. The video recorded the journey of the car on the road. Guoliang Tunnel Road. It's even more creepy when it suddenly rains. Inside the tunnel, the rough stone walls bore the marks of old hammers. Each narrow turn, barely wide enough for a car to pass, made passers-by feel as if they were walking on a thin line between life and death. Just one small mistake, and the car can crash straight into the wet cliff or slide out into the vast open space outside. Despite its praise, it still carries a deadly beauty, reminding people of the fragility of life when facing nature. After exiting this steep tunnel, the journey continues to lead us to Zoji La Pass, India, where Himalayan snow and narrow slopes turn every trip into a life-or-death adventure. In India, it instills fear with its white snow, ice, and overwhelming heights. Located at an altitude of more than 3,500 meters in the Himalayas, Zojila is a vital route connecting Srinagar in Kashmir with Leh and Ladakh. But it is also one of the most dangerous passes in Asia. The weather in Zojila is so harsh that it is only navigable for a few months of the year. In winter, heavy snowfall paralyzes the entire route, sometimes reaching several meters high, blocking all paths. Even in summer, heavy rains can cause landslides, turning the pass into a slippery, muddy field. From above, the video captures the tiny cars as moving dots, slowly passing by. Zoji La Pass, covered in white snow. The winding road followed the rugged mountainside. Below was a deep abyss obscured in the mist. From this perspective, the journey is nothing less than a life and death gamble between man and icy nature. And as we leave the icy Himalayas, the dangerous journey leads us to another road in the clouds, Karakoram Highway connecting Pakistan and China, where snowstorms, landslides, and extreme altitudes pose a challenge that not everyone dares to face. Karakoram Highway is the highest road in the world, running through the Karakoram Range connecting Pakistan with China. At an altitude of over 4,500 meters, this road passes through rugged mountains where landslides, snowstorms, and avalanches frequently occur. Narrow roads and steep curves make driving a life-or-death challenge. Despite its danger, it is still an important transportation route between the two countries and is also known as the eighth wonder of the world and attracts adventurous tourists to conquer. If the Karakoram Highway inspires fear with ice and heights, then Stelvio Pass in Italy challenges people with its breathtaking zigzag. Located at an altitude of about 2,757 meters in the Alps, the Stelvio Pass is considered one of the most spectacular mountain passes in Europe, but it is also listed as one of the most dangerous roads in the world. What makes the Stelvio so notorious is that 7 sharp turns stretching over 24 kilometers. Each narrow turn is just enough for a small car to fit through, with cliffs and deep abysses on both sides. From above, the road looks like a white ribbon winding across the mountainside, winding to the point of making any driver dizzy. For inexperienced drivers, just 1 second of losing control can send the car plummeting into the cold abyss. The landscape here is majestic, with snow-capped mountains, lush green valleys, and winding curves that look like a painting from above. It is this combination of beauty and death that makes Stelvio Pass an unforgettable destination on a journey to discover the world's most dangerous roads. Leaving the Italian Alps behind, we continue on to Fairy Meadows Road of Pakistan, where the rugged, narrow, precarious dirt road on the side of a cliff will make anyone with a faint heart hesitate. Hidden at the foot of the majestic Nanga Parbat mountain, the 16 kilometers long Fairy Meadows Road in Pakistan is famous as one of the most dangerous roads in the world. The dirt road was rough and narrow, barely wide enough for an old jeep to pass, with a steep cliff on one side and a deep abyss on the other with no barriers. The continuous sharp turns require nerves of steel, as one slip on gravel or mud can cost you your life. In the rainy season, the road turns into mud, and in the winter it is covered with ice and snow, making the path disappear. However, many people still dare to conquer to set foot in Fairy Meadows, a beautiful valley overlooking the majestic Himalayas. What is special is that many roads cannot be traveled by car, forcing visitors to continue the journey by horse or foot. That makes Fairy Meadows Road not just a route, but also a test of endurance, courage, and will to survive. From the precarious depths of Fairy Meadows Road in Pakistan, the journey continues to Europe, where Atlantic Ocean Road Norway is picturesque, but always lurking with danger from the rough seas. The route is only about 3 kilometers, connecting the small islands of Murray og Romsdal, but is known as the most beautiful and also the most dangerous road in Europe. The special feature of Atlantic Ocean Road is the zigzag bridge connecting small islands, winding on the sea surface like a silk strip across the waves. Driving on this road is a wonderful experience. The vast blue sea, the cool breeze, and the sparkling sunlight. But as soon as a storm comes, this place immediately turns into a nightmare. Despite its dangers, the Atlantic Ocean Road attracts thousands of tourists and photographers every year due to its majestic and wild beauty. It is a clear demonstration of the combination of harsh nature and human hands, where beauty always comes with potential danger. Atlantic Ocean Road, NA-8. 3-kilometer Atlantic Ocean Road in Norway is a famous coastal route with unique architecture and spectacular scenery. About 3 kilometers connecting a chain of small islands by 8 curved bridges stretching out to sea. The small cars rolling on this bridge seem to be timid and reserved, as if they are afraid that if they are distracted for a moment, they will be swept away by the waves. At that moment, people feel that the cars are like small trembling dots, trying to cross the Dragon Bridge hanging in the middle of the raging sea. During the day, the scenery here is like a love song between the sea and sky. Hey, gee. The seagulls whisper, the waves gently lapping under the bridge, all creating a scene that is both majestic and poetic. The first location takes us through the stormy sea. Then the next location drags us into the overwhelming depths of a harsh canyon, where every turn makes the traveler's heart clench. Cotahuasi Canyon Road in Peru is known as the deepest canyon in the world. With a depth of more than 3,300 meters, far surpassing even the Grand Canyon in the U.S. Look. Tourists are happily roaming on the stone road, enjoying exploring different places, cities, and nature. This road is really dangerous because there are big gaps and sharp turns. How scary! The car slowly rolled up the steep canyon. One side was a steep cliff, the other side was a deep abyss that made anyone who saw it shudder. The journey through Cotahuasi Canyon Road is not just a trip, but also an experience touching the boundary between fear and courage. If Cotahuasi Canyon Road in Peru makes people shiver with its steep cliffs and sharp turns, Taroko Gorge Road in Taiwan takes us into a dangerous maze between majestic mountains and deep abysses. Taroko Gorge Road. This road through the majestic Taroko Gorge is beautiful but very dangerous. The vertical marble cliffs embrace the turbulent Liwu River. The Red Bridge spans the deep abyss, like a powerful brushstroke painting the majestic, natural picture of Taroko. Despite knowing the dangers lurking, many tourists are still strongly attracted, walking together on Taroko Gorge Road. The dark, narrow tunnel, with its sharp turns right on the edge of the cliff, made the driver extremely nervous. From the ruggedness of Taroko Gorge Road, the journey continues to the Karakoram Highway, a road through the Himalayas where majestic beauty blends with the haunting sense of extreme harshness and danger. The famous Karakoram Highway is considered the eighth wonder of the world, more than 1,300 kilometers long, crossing the rugged Karakoram with turbulent rivers below. From above looking down, Karakoram Highway appeared like a thin thread across the giant snow-capped mountain range. Sneak into the majestic Hunza Valley, where towering Himalayan mountains surround you, creating a scene that is both breathtaking and dangerous. At the end of the majestic Karakoram Highway, the journey turns onto Fairy Meadows Road, a narrow, precarious road leading into the foothills of the treacherous Nanga Parbat mountain range. Located in Pakistan, the road Fairy Meadows is famous for its danger and haunting. with dangerous altitudes of up to 8,000 feet. The narrow dirt road is just wide enough for a small car, with a steep cliff on one side and a deep abyss on the other, making anyone who passes by feel scared. So eventually it will come to a point so narrow that the rest of the horrific journey must be completed on foot. 10 Bend Road, 99 Ascend to Heaven. If there is a chance, are you brave enough to go Fairy Meadows Road? Comment number 1 below. Tianmen Mountain Road is a winding road with 99 bends located in China's Tianmen Mountain National Park. From afar, it looks like a white silk strip across the sky, clinging to the rugged mountainside, leading straight to the Heaven's Gate, a giant natural stone arch over 130 meters high. It was terrifying. The road with its continuous zigzag curves required the driver to be extremely careful. Overcoming all those winding bends, you will be rewarded with magnificent natural scenery. Next, we will move on to another tough challenge. Dalton Highway in Alaska. The endless icy road is known as the loneliest drive in the world. Dalton Highway, located in Alaska, Dalton Highway stretching over 660 kilometers, it is considered one of the loneliest and most extreme roads in the world. Look, the truck is struggling to move through the white snowstorm. Along this route, the scenery is of snow-capped mountains, endless wilderness, and bitterly cold winds, with winter temperatures reaching 50 degrees Celsius. After the icy Dalton Highway, the journey continues to Col de Tourigny, the most winding road in France. Col de Tourigny in France is one of the most famous and spectacular passes in the Alps. The road winds continuously with dozens of sharp hairpin bends, surrounded by majestic mountains and deep valleys. In winter, the snow covers the landscape, making it both picturesque and potentially challenging. The scene of the car rolling on this winding road. The wheels rotate continuously through each narrow bend. The engine roars. The driver tensely holds the steering wheel, both excited and nervous. Col de Tourigny is not only a challenge for brave drivers, but also an enchanting journey through the mountains and forests of France. Leaving France behind, we continue to India to explore the Hindustan-Tibet Pass, a rugged mountain pass through the majestic Himalayas. Leaving France behind, we continue to India to explore the Hindustan-Tibet Pass, a rugged mountain pass through the majestic Himalayas. The road is narrow and has many sharp turns, as if to test the courage of any driver. When winter comes, the snow covers everything. The cold wind blows fiercely, turning this place into a natural picture that is both magically beautiful and full of danger.
Go back!
From the rugged Hindustan-Tibet highway, the journey takes us to Ma Pi Leng Pass, Ha Giang, Vietnam, where the roads follow steep, rocky mountainsides, overlooking the deep green Nho Quay River, both majestic and awe-inspiring. About 20 kilometers long, with an altitude of 1,200 meters, Ma Pi Leng Pass belongs to Dong Van Stone Plateau, a rocky mountain area formed from the Devonian to the Permian period, connecting Ha Giang City, Dong Van and Meo Vac district. This pass is famous for its winding roads that cross from one mountain to another. This is probably the reason why tourists often call Ma Pi Leng the king of the most dangerous roads in Vietnam. Although traveling on these roads is extremely dangerous, it is also the only road connecting remote areas with the outside world. Perhaps this is a challenge that nature wants humans to overcome. After the dangerous Ma Pi Leng, the journey continues to O Quy Ho, the longest pass in the northwest, covered in clouds all year round. O Quy Ho Pass is overwhelming with an altitude of nearly 2,000 meters, covered in clouds all year round, creating a scene that is both majestic and challenging. When crossing O Quy Ho Pass, you will experience beautiful sunny days with fresh air. Standing on the top of the pass, you will be able to see the majestic natural scenery of the mountains and forests. The winding road at O Quy Ho Pass seems to embrace the majestic mountainside, creating a picture that is both poetic and full of challenges and dangers. From O Quy Ho, the journey continues to Japan with the Irohazaka Road, where 48 spectacular bends wind between mountains and brilliant maple forests. Famous as one of the most dangerous and winding roads, dubbed the most dangerous on the planet because of its breathtaking beauty, and 48 dangerous hairpin bends.
Đây là mình đang thì nó đỡ phải phanh, đỡ mệt. Mình thì mình đi cái đường này khá là nhiều cái sườn núi, các bạn nhìn thấy các cái cây nó vàng nó đỏ. Đây, cua này cũng khá là đẹp.
Although dangerous, this route is an ideal place to fully enjoy the beauty of autumn in Japan, with natural scenery, spectacular. On weekends, tourists come here to visit in large numbers. The world's most dangerous roads and places not only inspire fear, but also inspire courage and respect for the forces of nature. Each journey is a reminder that life is fragile, but also resilient, Which place do you think is the most dangerous? Leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to discover more dramatic journeys. Underwater tunnels are engineering wonders that connect separate worlds beneath the ocean, from London's Thames to Sydney's spectacular shortcut. Get ready to see the top amazing ocean tunnels that will leave you in awe. In just 4 minutes, you can travel from Europe to Asia without a passport. The 8.5 kilometers long Marmaray Tunnel under the Bosphorus Strait is one of the most impressive underwater structures in the world.
Of a project dreamt up by Ottoman sultans more than a century ago.
Marmaray is the world's deepest underground railway tunnel, with the main section lying 54 meters underwater and assembled from giant sunken tunnel blocks, strong enough to withstand a weight of 9 tons. Designed to withstand earthquakes, the Marmaray is not only a step forward in technical safety, but also helps Istanbul reduce congestion, carrying up to 1.5 million passengers a day. Marmaray is the first tunnel connecting 2 continents, inaugurated on the occasion of the 90th anniversary of the Republic of Turkey. Next on the journey, we come to the Thames Tunnel, a construction that holds its own secrets and challenges. The Thames Tunnel, the world's first underwater structure, who was bold enough to build it, in London, completed in 1843 by the genius Marc Isambard Brunel, was the first waterway and the epitome of engineering daring. "360 meters long, connecting Rotherhithe to the River Thames, the original Thames Tunnel was for pedestrians and cost just 1 penny, and featured a revolutionary tunnel shield that could penetrate soft ground without flooding. The world's first banquet hall, shopping mall, and underwater fair was here, and Londoners still walk through that history every day. From the daring Thames Tunnel, our journey continues to the Transbay Tunnel, a modern icon associated with the vibrant life of San Francisco Bay. The Transbay Tunnel is an engineering masterpiece of the Bay Area Rapid Transit BART system, opened in 1974 and still carries millions of passengers each year. Nearly 3 kilometers long, located at a depth of about 41 meters under the San Francisco Bay, this project offers a safe, dry, and unique journey as the train glides through a sturdy, reinforced concrete tunnel under one of the most iconic bays in the United States. The Transbay Tunnel is made up of 57 giant tubes, fabricated on land, floated, precisely positioned, and then sunk to the bottom of the bay, a feat that requires absolute precision. After modern upgrades with superior earthquake resistance, the Transbay Tunnel offers a smooth, fast, and safe journey. becoming an interesting hidden passageway alongside the iconic Bay Bridge of the Bay Area. If the Transbay Tunnel is a hidden passageway under the San Francisco Bay, the Musco Tunnel opens up a surprising journey in another land with its own challenges. Sweden's secret naval base. Sounds like something out of a spy movie, but it really happened. Located south of Stockholm, completed in 1969, the tunnel is nearly 3 kilometers long and 70 meters deep under the Baltic Sea, leading straight into the Musco underground fortress carved out of solid rock. This is one of the largest underground facilities in Europe, with docks, repair facilities, and a hospital built into the mountain, designed to withstand even a nuclear attack, where warships can enter directly through giant blast doors like a real-life naval bat cave. Today, the Musco base remains active, shrouded in secrecy and playing an increasingly important role in a volatile geopolitical landscape. Next up is the Fehmarn Belt Tunnel, the undersea megaproject connecting Germany with Denmark. Connecting Denmark with Germany, 18 kilometers long under the Baltic Sea, expected to be completed in 2029 and will become the world's longest combined road and rail tunnel. It was built differently by assembling giant concrete blocks placed on the seabed. Each block is 217 meters long, 42 meters wide, and weighs up to 73,000 tons, like giant Lego pieces floating before being assembled. The blocks were built at the world's largest factory in Denmark, took 9 weeks to complete, then floated like giant ships and carefully placed on the bottom of the Baltic Sea. The Fehmarn Belt Tunnel promises to change the European transport map, lying under one of the world's busiest transport routes and becoming a new engineering wonder of mankind. Following the Fehmarn Belt, we come to the Great Belt Fixed Link, Denmark's vital transport project. The Great Belt Fixed Link, inaugurated in 1,998 inches Denmark, connects the islands of Zealand and Funen, making travel easier for millions of people. The unique structure is both a bridge and a tunnel, with the eastern tunnel section stretching 8 kilometers and nearly 76 meters deep under the strait, offering the surreal experience of driving under the waves. The construction of the Great Belt Fixed Link was considered a crazy engineering challenge, as engineers had to use giant tunnel boring machines combined with installing precast concrete sections underwater to complete the project. The Great Belt Fixed Link has turned a long ferry journey into just a 10-minute drive, with a robust safety system that can withstand even the harshest storms. Located right under an Icelandic fjord, the spectacular Vodor Tunnel not only lets you do just that, but it also makes it a familiar sight. Opened in 1998, it lies beneath one of Iceland's most beautiful fjords, stretching nearly 10 kilometers and reaching a deepest point of 165 meters below sea level, deeper than many skyscrapers. Driving right under the Icelandic fjords offers a unique experience, shortening the journey from almost an hour to less than 10 minutes, connecting Reykjavik to the west more conveniently, and turning the winding road into a spectacular shortcut, both practical and full of adventure. Today, it is not only an iconic Icelandic attraction, but also serves a dual purpose, serving as practical transportation and offering unique adventure experiences to visitors. And right next is Norway's underwater wonder Ryfast Tunnel, where you can drive nearly 300 meters below the ocean floor. The Ryfast Tunnel, which connects Stavanger with Strand under the Ryfylke Fjord, is 14.5 kilometers long and is known as the longest underwater tunnel in the world. At its deepest point, the Ryfast Tunnel lies 290 meters below the surface of the water, deeper than the height of two statues of Liberty stacked on top of each other, an impressive figure that is overwhelming to anyone who hears it. Construction began in 2013. The Ryfast Tunnel was drilled through rock with advanced technology, overcoming harsh water pressure, and after 6 years, at a cost of $1 billion USD, was officially completed. The Ryfast Tunnel has replaced the slow ferries, offering a unique driving experience nearly 300 meters under the seabed, a truly unforgettable journey. You won't believe the next place that changed the world's transport map: the Sydney Harbour Tunnel, an underground icon connecting the two shores of Australia's most vibrant city. Opened in 1992, the Sydney Harbour Tunnel lies beneath the bay, built to relieve traffic on Australia's iconic harbour bridge. Nearly 96,000 vehicles pass through the 2.2 kilometers Sydney Harbour Tunnel every day, which connects the Warringah Freeway in the north with the Cahill Freeway in the city centre, at a depth of about 25 meters below sea level. Designed as a double underwater tunnel, built at a 30 degrees angle to the wharf above, it is both highly convenient and considered a masterpiece of sophisticated engineering. Taking more than 4 years to build, with hundreds of skilled workers and costing nearly $500 million, the Sydney Harbour Tunnel now allows drivers to comfortably pass under the sparkling waters of the harbour, shortening travel times and avoiding daily traffic jams. Continue the journey. Let's explore Karnafali Tunnel in Bangladesh. The country's first under-river project opens a major turning point for regional transport. Spanning 9.6 kilometers with nearly 3 kilometers underground at Chattogram, it is Bangladesh's first underwater tunnel. A breakthrough in Bangladesh's transport sector, the Karnafali Tunnel has significantly reduced travel time between the two sides of the city, with more than 2,000 vehicles passing through in just the first 12 hours after its inauguration. As part of the Belt and Road Initiative, the project will not only boost regional trade and connectivity, but also reshape tourism, particularly linking Chattogram with the famous Cox's Bazar beach. Built in collaboration between Bangladesh and China, The Karnafuli Tunnel uses a technology of placing giant concrete blocks underwater to join together into a solid structure located about 30 meters below the riverbed. Driving through the Karnafuli Tunnel is both breathtaking and terrifying, like rushing on a road about to be submerged by water, with the ocean pressing in on both sides. Making one wonder, will you keep going or go back to shore? Leave your comments below. The next step on the journey is the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge Tunnel, a spectacular cross-sea project combining bridge and tunnel, connecting three of Asia's most vibrant hubs. Inaugurated in 2018, the 4,000-meter-long undersea tunnel, of which 3.2 kilometers is underwater, 45 meters deep, connects the three bustling cities of Hong Kong, Zhuhai, and Macau, and is also part of the world's longest sea-crossing bridge system with a total length of 57 kilometers. The unique feature is that there are two artificial islands connecting the bridge to the tunnel. The giant tunnel sections were built on shore, released into the sea, and then aligned at the bottom with absolute precision. Considered one of the world's most daring projects, it shortens travel time from Hong Kong to Macau from hours to just 30 minutes, with the interesting point being that drivers must switch from left-hand to right-hand drive when entering mainland China. And now, let's explore the Cross Harbour Tunnel, the iconic project that opened the era of Hong Kong's first underwater tunnel. Opened in 1972, it was the first underwater structure connecting Hong Kong Island with Kowloon. The 1.9 kilometers long, two-lane cross-harbor tunnel runs under Victoria Harbour, connecting Hung Hom in Kowloon with Causeway Bay on Hong Kong Island. Once people relied solely on slow and overcrowded ferries, now more than 110,000 vehicles cross every day, making Cross Harbour one of the busiest tunnels in the world. It was built by prefabricating giant tunnels on land, then dropping them into the water and joining them perfectly at the bottom of the harbour, creating a structure that is both safe and sustainable, and is considered an engineering wonder of Hong Kong. Driving through the Cross Harbour offers a surreal feeling of being under the harbour, while also reshaping Hong Kong's traffic, connecting central areas more quickly and conveniently. After a journey through Cross Harbour, head to the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, a special connection between the United States and Canada. The Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, opened in 1930, was the first international underwater vehicle tunnel, connecting the United States with Canada and ushering in a historic turning point in cross-border traffic. Lying 23 meters below the Detroit River, the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel is nearly 1 mile long, directly connecting Detroit, USA, with Windsor, Canada, becoming a strategic passage between the two countries. Building this tunnel was a huge challenge as it had to pass through layers of clay and rock under the busy waterway. But engineers cleverly placed and sealed giant steel pipes underwater, creating a safe and durable tunnel for vehicles. With 12,000 vehicles per day, the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel is both a busy traffic route and a symbol of US-Canada friendship, offering the unique experience of crossing the border under the river in just minutes. After crossing historic Detroit-Windsor, explore the incredible Ice Royer Tunnel with its underwater rotation. This is a unique and daring construction located in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, connecting the two islands of Strio and Ioi. Nearly 7 miles long and more than 600 feet below the Atlantic Ocean, the Ice Royer Tunnel features a giant underwater rotation, a strange destination that has become a popular tourist attraction. At the center of the wheel, a jellyfish sculpture glowing with brilliant LED lights makes the journey feel like stepping into the future. To create this surreal experience, engineers conquered the hard volcanic rock under the Atlantic Ocean, transforming the Ice Royer Tunnel into a marvel of engineering and art. The Ice Royer Tunnel shortens travel time from more than an hour to just 15 minutes, giving people the unique experience of driving under whales swimming above, making the Faroe Islands not only a place of convenient transportation, but also an unforgettable underwater journey. From the magical underwater Ferris wheel of Ice Royer, the journey continues to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, New York's legendary transportation icon. Inaugurated in 1950, it became New York's largest underwater walkway right in the heart of the bustling city. Stretching nearly 2 miles and 100 feet below the East River, the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel is known as one of the longest continuous underwater vehicle routes in North America. Engineers dug and sealed huge sections of the tunnel to keep water out, but the biggest challenge came in 2012 when Hurricane Sandy flooded the tunnel with more than 86 million gallons of seawater. More than 50,000 vehicles pass through here every day, making Brooklyn Battery the lifeblood of New York and giving the feeling of gliding on a secret highway right under the city. Leaving bustling New York, let's go to China to explore the Yangtze River Tunnel, a modern wonder crossing the longest river in Asia. The Yangtze River Tunnel connects Taikang and Jiman under the majestic Yangtze River, becoming a bold symbol of modern Chinese transportation. At 24 miles long and 60 meters below the surface, the Yangtze River Tunnel is not only the longest underwater tunnel in China, but also surpasses all previous constructions in scale and boldness. Thousands of workers and giant building-sized digging machines conquered the hard rock and mud deep under the riverbed, creating a massive, safe, and sustainable engineering project called the Yangtze River Tunnel. With high-speed trains reaching 218 miles per hour, the Yangtze River Tunnel shortens the Shanghai-Nanning journey by 2 hours, while applying environmentally friendly technology to protect the river, becoming a symbol of speed, modernity, and sustainable development. Leaving the majestic Yangtze, we entered the Seikhan Tunnel, which contains surprising underground stories. Japan's Seikan Tunnel connects the two islands of Honshu and Hokkaido, holding the title of the longest underwater tunnel in the world, becoming a magnificent symbol of modern engineering. With a length of 57 kilometers and a depth of 240 meters below sea level, surpassing the height of the Washington Monument, the Seikan Tunnel is worthy of being called a great miracle of mankind. After 17 years of construction at a cost of $7 billion USD, the Seikan Tunnel overcame countless challenges to allow high-speed trains to run at more than 130 kilometers per hour, shortening the journey and becoming a symbol of Japanese engineering. Passing Japan's majestic Seikan, we come to the Channel Tunnel, a construction connecting Europe and the undersea world. Considered a secret gateway under the sea, the English Channel Tunnel connects Folkestone, UK, with Calais, France, becoming a magical symbol of European connection. Stretching 50 kilometers, the Channel Tunnel is Europe's longest underwater tunnel and has been hailed as one of the 7 wonders of modern times, taking over 6 years to build with 13,000 workers, costing $21 billion, and challenging the task of digging through chalk 40 meters below the seabed. With train speeds of 160 kilometers per hour, the Channel Tunnel takes passengers from England to France in just 35 minutes, while also transporting cars, trucks, and goods, becoming a lifeline for European trade. Leaving behind the majestic English Channel, we continue to dive deep into China to meet the Taihu Tunnel, a masterpiece lying under the vast lake waters. Inaugurated in 2021, the Taihu Tunnel, located under a giant freshwater lake near Shanghai, is 6 kilometers long and more than 20 meters deep, considered the longest underwater highway tunnel in China. At a cost of nearly $1.5 billion USD, the Taihu Tunnel was built using advanced technology, meticulously joining giant concrete blocks under the lake to overcome harsh challenges. Offering a unique journey under the giant freshwater lake, the Taihu Tunnel not only shortens the distance between Shanghai and Nanjing, but also impresses with its brilliant LED lighting system, which is both safe and futuristic. And now, the journey brings us to the final stop, the Lærdal Tunnel in Norway, the world's longest mountain pass. Inaugurated in 2000, Norway's Lærdal Tunnel, connecting Lærdal and Årland, is considered the world's longest and most impressive trans-mountain transport masterpiece. (24.2 kilometers long and plunging 1,370 meters underground), the Lærdal Tunnel takes drivers on a magical journey through seemingly endless solid rock. After 5 years of arduous construction, engineers conquered the hard granite layer to create a giant tunnel through the mountain called Lærdal. Driving through Lærdal is a 20-minute journey into another world beneath the mountain. And more than just a transport route, it has become a creative symbol of human engineering and design. From wonders under the sea to great structures under the mountains, each tunnel is a testament to human intelligence and desire to conquer. The journey of discovery has ended, but the world out there still has countless wonders waiting. If you find this journey interesting, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share your feelings in the comments section to continue exploring other extraordinary things with me.